Randall Cunningham missed both of last year's games, but he's won 7 of his last 8 starts against the G-men, so that bodes well for Philly. Let's return now to our Leslie Visser somewhere in the swamps of Jersey. Leslie?
Chris, it was here in this stadium last year that Randall Cunningham broke his ankle. He claims he's 100% recovered from that injury, but there are still questions about his mental and emotional makeup. In the movie The Lion King, we learned that you should go into battle with no worries. But for the Eagles quarterback, everything is not Hakuna Matata. Randall Cunningham has always enjoyed great skill, the ability to split defenders, to think on the run, to find a man downfield. But some of his former teammates think his question is not of talent, but of leadership.
The strange thing about leadership is a quality that somebody either has or they don't have.
There's different ways of being a leader. You can be a leader vocally, hollering and cursing people out. I'm sorry, that's not me.
When you accept the role as a quarterback, and especially as a quarterback like him, as a superstar quarterback, you also have to accept the responsibility that comes along with it.
You're the coach on the field. You are the captain.
I'd rather come to the side, talk to a guy. If I have to criticize him, I better expect to be criticized later myself.
Ultimately, does it matter if Randall is unconventional? Michael Jackson is odd. Do people say he cannot sing? One former teammate thinks Randall's style does not affect his substance.
He likes to do things differently. You know, he's wearing gold tips on his shoes or whatever. You know, Randall just likes to be different. And a lot of times people perceive that as, you know, in a negative light.
Do you regard yourself as a bit of an eccentric or...
I'm a little crazy. I'm not what people report I am. I don't have an ego problem.
I mean, he probably wants to be the next Arsenio. I mean, that's the way his show was.
I'm not self-centered.
He wants to be recognized. You know, when he talks about football, it's I'm this, I did that. I'm surprised. Yeah, I surprised myself.
I'm not an enigma that can't be figured out. But for the people that I allow to get to know me, they look at me and they see I'm crazy and goofy and silly just like everyone else. It's just that when I'm in front of this camera, I'd like to be professional.
Professional or preoccupied? Some players, like Jim McMahon, feel that Cunningham's interests lie elsewhere.
He's got so many other outside activities going on that football's, you know, pretty much a secondary thing for him. And most guys that play this game, that's their primary concern.
A lot of people play this game for different reasons, you know. Some people play strictly for the money. And then you got guys who play because they just genuinely love the game. And then you got other guys that play for the glory of the game, you know, and the recognition that it gets them.
Where does he fall?
I think probably all three. But I think the recognition part of it is greater.
Few things in the NFL are as elusive as trying to tackle Randall Cunningham. Is he here, or maybe here? While containing Cunningham is an opponent's nightmare, Cunningham's own pursuit, his dream, that of winning a Super Bowl, has been equally elusive.
If he plays well, you know, and he wins a couple of Super Bowls, all of that recognition and all of that stuff that he wants will fall in line.
I'm very anxious for the season to get underway.
He's got to focus himself on football and let all that other stuff take care of itself, and it will. If he wins, it will.
It's worth noting that the Eagles lost only 5 games the past 3 years that Randall started. He has a little bit of a stiff elbow today, a preseason injury, but he told me the best thing about this game is that he won't have number 56, Lawrence Taylor, dogging him throughout the whole game. Randall is an enigmatic man. One NFL head coach told me, I'd hate to coach Randall Cunningham. I hate to coach against him. Chris?
All right, Leslie, thank you. She looks more nimble than Randall Moore, but big pivotal year for Randall, no doubt about it.
No, it really is. Hey, they got a new owner in Jeffrie Lurie with the Philadelphia Eagles. I tell you what, if Randall doesn't win this year, they're going to have a new quarterback next year. His salary jumps from $2.5 million to $4 million. Remember, Lurie tried to trade Randall right at draft time to get Trent Dilfer. It didn't work out. Some of the teams out there say Randall's too brittle. So, Phil, do the Giants go after Randall today?
Mort, I think that would be a nightmare for Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator of the New York Giants. The last thing they want to do is get in situations where they have to play man coverage or blitz Randall Cunningham today. Because what happens when you blitz or play man-to-man and he breaks that pocket, everybody's back is turned. And Randall, that's the one thing he can do. He can beat you running the football. So they want to keep him in the pocket and make him beat them by throwing the ball down the field. Tom?
Yeah, you're always talking quarterback. I'm always talking D-line. I think most important for the Eagles, they're reborn on their defensive line. Household names have left over the course of the last couple of years. Now they've got Greg Townsend, the Fridge, Andy Harmon, William Fuller. I think they're going to be a lot better up front. Not as good as they were 3 years ago, but much improved.
Well, Rich Kotite's excited about his team now that they're back thinking about the game and not the money problems this week. Well, when we return, 49ers, they have reloaded their defense with Ken Norton and company. Can George Seifert's crew
Yes, I tell you now.